I woke up today. Everyone's been talking about it. I think the comedy special dropped. Did it drop yesterday?
I think it was yesterday, yeah.
Let me just double check and make sure it's out, because we've covered this beef a lot on this pod throughout the last few years. And okay, so it is out. It came out yesterday. We're recording this on a Sunday. I think it came out yesterday on a Saturday. Chris Rock's new Netflix stand-up special. It's called Selective Outrage. And I knew from the title alone,
you knew what was
you
coming.
knew this guy was on smoke. Grade A, real, pure, premium, carbon monoxide, choke at your lungs, smoke.
You knew it was on, innit?
Yeah, these ain't no baby boy cigarettes over here, man. These are these 9% vapes. These are gonna blow off your lungs. That type of smoke. Even though vape technically ain't smoke. Chris Rock. So as we know, roughly just over a year ago, at one of the most prestigious award shows on the planet, the Oscars, Chris Rock was there doing his hosting. Let's do a little recap. You know, he ran a little joke on Jada Pinkett Smith. She was there, bald, pretty much. And he ran a joke about her being G.I. Jane. G.I. Jane, ran a G.I. Jane joke. And Will Smith, as we've all know, as we've all seen, took it to heart. It was so outlandish what he did that there was a whole debate about whether it was real or not. Mm-hmm. I was convinced that it wasn't real for the first week. Remember, we had these conversations. Was it real? Is it like the way he did it? His form was so on point. The way he slapped him, the way he just walked off. It was so out of the ordinary that people couldn't wrap their minds around the fact that this actually happened.
Yeah, it's facts, yeah.
He walked on stage, slapped Chris Rock for making a joke about his wife. And then Chris Rock was like, yo, like, what? And he was like, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And then he tried to talk again. He said, keep my wife's name, double down on it. No pun intended. And then
that was crazy.
The whole fallout from it was Chris Rock getting banned from the Oscars for a certain amount of years. Will Smith getting banned from the Oscars for a certain amount of years. They were flirting with the prospect of taking back the coveted award that he'd been working years to get his hands on. And people were just discussing like the fact that, like, bro, you've been trying to get an Academy Award for so long, and this is how you kind of just like tainted the whole occasion. Denzel backed him and was like, oh, like his big brother, his dad, like, oh no, don't worry, I understand. That's what you go through. Anyway, everyone wanted to hear from Chris Rock. Everyone wanted to hear his side of the things. Since this happened, Will Smith's family and his mum have told him to apologize. Even Jada Pinkett Smith, if she hasn't embarrassed him enough, told him to go and apologize. Even though, remember, he was defending her.
Yeah, I know.
Even though we know the real reason, all of that pent-up frustration in him was because of her. But he took it out on Chris Rock, cool. Because it was a joke about his wife, cool. And this is what annoys me, Nick. A lot of people are like, yeah, I'd slap him if he made, he defending his wife, whatever. Let's be clear, this ain't about the joke he made about his wife. This is a pent-up frustration.
This is about other stuff.
This is years.
This is other people clowning you.
The internet clowning you. Other people, your peers clowning you. Being ridiculed. Like August Alsina clowning you. Rick Ross jumping on songs. Entanglements.
Only for August to let me not say nothing.
Yeah. So Chris Rock, you know, he apologized publicly to Chris Rock. Chris Rock didn't hear if he accepted it or anything. And now, and this is what I love. This is what we talk about with rappers. We don't want the Twitter fingers. We don't want to hear you chat about it. Put it in the art. That's what we want to hear you address. If you're a rapper, if you're going to respond, put it on wax.
Yeah, facts.
Chris Rock is a comedian. He's a seasoned, legendary stand-up comedian. This guy's been doing it since the early 90s, late 80s. Put in the art. That's what he did. Selective Outrage. Have you seen any of it?
I did, yeah. I watched some of the clips where he's talking about Will Smith.
I got to play this.
Yeah,
I got to play this. I got to play this.
Because I watched a bit of it.
I got to play this for you lot. Because for me, I was there. Some people are saying he went too far.
I've seen people saying that.
We'll get into your take on it. But I want to play it first, right? So you lot, listen to this.
His wife was fucking her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit. But for some reason, these niggas put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why two talented would do something that fucking low down. What the fuck? And we all been cheated on. Everybody in here been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us. It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's dick. How did that make you feel?
Oi! Get him! Finish him! Mortal Kombat style.
Fuck would you do that shit? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay? And by the way, he does that shit. Everybody in the world called him a bitch. I tried to call the motherfucker and give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me. Everybody called that man a bitch. Fucking Charlemagne called him a bitch, and the Breakfast Club called him a bitch, and the View, and the Talk, and every rapper, and fucking the Drink Champs called him a fucking bitch.
The way he's
Everybody
saying
called
the-
him a bitch. They called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a bitch.
Hey, he's not holding back.
Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. A nigga he know he could beat. That is some bitch ass shit.
All right, so listen. Obviously, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, especially Will Smith, he's looked at by a lot of people, especially like Black Americans, in the same light as like Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know, these are like, this is like royalty within Black entertainment. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they can do no wrong. Like, no matter what happens, we're riding for him because they are on the pillar of Black excellence. And Chris Rock's not looked at on that same pillar as Will Smith. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. So you've got people out here that, one, when he got slapped, they were defending Will Smith straight away.
Facts.
Like, oh yeah, he shouldn't have said a G.I. Jane. Allow it. And then now that he's running jokes and getting his side of it off, they're still upset. Oh, he's not funny. This is dead. He's gone too hard. Nick, I'm getting pissed off because for me, this is a man that got slapped on national television in front of everyone. Him getting jokes off is nothing compared to the embarrassment
That you gave him.
that you gave him, in my opinion. Like, and I don't want to hear this, oh, yeah, he defended his wife. Yeah, he should have slapped him. Like, let's be clear, bro. Like, at award shows, people get ripped all the time. I know people were saying it was a theme because he's ripped her in the past. And, bro, the reality is they've been getting ripped the last couple years based on her actions. Like he said, they put these things on the internet. They did Red Table Talks about their relationship. They invited the world to have an opinion on their relationship and run jokes on it.
They're the ones that they offered up the information. They not offered up. They were actually August Alsina did the interview.
August Alsina is the one that put it out there.
Yeah.
But they didn't need to sit down and have sit across the
they need
table
to
and
do the
talk
red
about
talk,
it.
Yeah.
Like, they clearly did that for views. Like, they wanted her Red Table thing to go off and thought, okay, well, if we're going to get killed, we might as well just spin it into views for ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that backfired horribly, personally, because we saw Will Smith holding back tears and then he got memed.
It backfired on Will Smith. I don't feel like it affected Jada.
None of this really affected
Yeah.
Jada. I mean, some people look at her, like he just said in that clip, and say she's a predator because they go, well, why was she seeing someone like 15 years younger than her who had
but
a
even
mental,
so, I don't
who wasn't mentally stable?
Yeah, but on the I hear that, but I'm trying to say on the whole, it didn't really affect her like it did Will Smith. It wasn't Will Smith. It wasn't her that was getting mean.
Oh no! It didn't that way. It didn't. Like, he's he's out of the two of them. He's the much bigger star.
Yeah.
So it's gonna look more embarrassing for him, and it adds to it when. I think the biggest problem for Will Smith, and we spoke about this at the time, was that you're someone that has always come off as flawless. Flawless. Everything you do is of the highest quality. Your acting, your interviews, you always know what to say, always got a motivational quote in there for us. Running and reading, you know, it's one thing if I get on a treadmill and you get on a treadmill, you're going to get off the treadmill first.
Yeah.
Like, all of this, like, you came on YouTube, all your videos were larger and better than everyone's. You came on Instagram, all your videos were better than everyone's. You had the best writers, the best camera team. Like, everything about you has to be so perfect so that when we see an imperfection, it is so big,
Yeah,
and the
fact.
contrast is massive because you ain't letting the real parts of you as a human
That's a
enough,
good
bro.
point.
We're all flawed as human beings. You know, the more you show the flaw, and this is why I always say, funnily enough, the person I'm about to bring up, Tupac, you know, people make jokes that Jada Pinkett's been thinking about a dead guy for years and all of these things. Those jokes are running off as well.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Because that's another thing where he looks stupid. It wasn't just August Alsina.
She's
It was the
always
fact
mentioning and bringing
she's
up
always bringing up
letters
Tupac.
with her daughter.
Yeah,
and-
to how she loves him, talking about how close they were, talking about
weird.
how she never loved anyone like him.
Fucking
These times she's
weird.
married.
Yeah.
Like anytime she brings him up, she starts crying massively. Like, I get it. She knew him and he died, but like that just added to it. You had the young R&B guy that's just turned out to be a absolute weirdo, and then you've got Tupac, who's like legendary rapper. But my point was anyway, the reason Tupac is so revered and loved is because he came across someone that showed every side of his personality, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, I hear it.
In his music, he spoke about his flaws. As a human, you saw his flaws, whether he's spitting at cameras or next minute you can see him holding a child and like or making songs for like impoverished people. Like you just saw every facet of Tupac.
Yeah.
Will Smith was the complete opposite. Will Smith is like, oh, he's just so perfect. Just the perfect guy you want to bring home to your kids. Doesn't do anything wrong.
He's just safe, innit?
Safe.
Yeah.
Safe. I mean, this word corny has been thrown around. Is it fair to leverage that word at Will Smith?
I don't know, really. Not really, nah.
So you never thought when
Actually,
you saw...
yeah, no, I'm lying. He is cool.
So you never thought when you saw Will Smith doing that song Switch?
I don't know why it's
With
mad.
the
That was just the song I was thinking of.
With the hat to the side and the
he was
wife
doing
beater.
that.
Hey,
That shit, yeah.
Turn around now.
He's a cornball,
Ooh,
man.
na, na, na.
He's a cornball.
There was a time where he wasn't, though.
Yeah, there was
In
a
the
time.
early 90s, Fresh Prince days, he wasn't a cornball. Like, you wanted to be Will Smith.
Yeah.
Even when it got to Men in Black, Bad Boys, you wanted to be Will
Yeah.
Smith. That was the guy that everyone wanted to be. He was cool. Man could be sitting there and standing there in a suit doing Men in Black. Here comes the light. And you wanted to be him. Like, there was something about him you wanted to be. And then it just changed.
But then cut to Switch. He's never been the same since Switch.
He hasn't, innit?
No, man. Switch was the
He should have
end
hung
of
up
him.
his music boots in the
That
90s.
was the end of him.
Yeah, he shouldn't have. He had some hits in the 90s as
Who
well.
was it that kept cussing him? And I was like, he's corny. Was it Eminem or some other rappers kept dissing him?
Eminem was on him.
I think Eminem or
You know
maybe
once
even
Eminem's on
Jay-Z
you.
said something.
Is it?
Not cussed him, but they were a bit
I
like...
think Jay-Z wrote for him, didn't he, on one song?
What do I look like? Will Smith? Or something? I could have sworn... I could have sworn someone... Yeah, I could have sworn...
And then Nick Cannon came along and he was like a cornier version of Will Smith, like somehow.
Yeah. But Wild and Out brought Nick Cannon back a bit.
Yeah, but he still did corny
still
things on
corny,
that show
yeah.
and the way he dressed and stuff. But back to Chris Rock.
Switch, he ain't never been the same since
He hasn't.
Switch. What
Back
a
to Chris
corny
Rock,
song.
man.
Let me get visuals from that song, man.
Do you think... I said he's getting visuals. Do you
No,
think
to
Chris
see
Rock
how
went too
corny it
hard?
was.
What's your thoughts on Chris Rock's stand-up, the clips you've seen?
I don't think he's gone too hard. I think, considering you put hands on this man in public,
He sued you,
he
parade him.
he could have sued you. He could have taken it. He could have done the gunner thing, snitch. He could have done loads of things. He could have done. So if he chooses to meet your violence with comedy, you've got to take your licks.
Especially if he is a comedian.
Yeah, can't be telling me it's too much. You put your hands on this guy.
100%.
So whatever comes back, you should just be lucky there's no charges. That's what you should be grateful for.
It's true. He could have been in handcuffs, for real.
So what are we doing here? He gave you a couple jokes, and nothing he said was really incorrect. It was just explicit the way he said it, but nothing was incorrect.
No, everything he said was the truth.
People were calling you a bitch.
Yeah.
So what's wrong?
Yeah. And like the title of the stand-up special, Selective Outrage,
Yeah,
you're
you didn't
picking
do
and
anything,
choosing.
yeah.
You're picking and choosing who you're gonna punch up.
And if that is true, that's fucked up. That he actually called him to give him condolences.
Yeah. And he didn't pick up.
He didn't pick up. I can see why he wouldn't pick up though.
Why?
Because, bro, the last thing you want to do is just hear someone be like, I'm sorry, bro, move, man.
Especially
You know what
Chris
I mean?
Rock.
Yeah, you just...
Because you know what it is? Chris Rock, yeah, like, there's never a time I could picture Chris Rock being serious. He's just got that unserious tone to his voice. He's got that devious look on his face that he's always had since New Jack City. Like, If he calls you up, you're just thinking, bro, go away, man.
I know
Like, you're
disrespect to Chris Rock, but he's not the, like you said, he's not the level where if he gives you condolences, do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, the OG's giving me.
Are you saying
do
so
you know
it needs to
what I
be Denzel or someone like that needs to call me
Denzel or
up?
Jay calls you, and
Or
you
Forrest
might be-
Whitaker or...
Yeah, you might be like, Jay-Z calls you and to say, look, man, like, it's fucked up, but you might be like, it's Jay.
Just keep your head up, man.
Chris Rock, you'd be like, bro, nah, man.
No, but Chris Rock is an OG, though.
He is, but I'm just saying, he's just not the level. That's what I mean. He's not the level.
Yeah. It's status and fame and all this is...
oh my days.
It's mad, isn't it?
This is embarrassing.
Have you found it?
Look at your guy, man.
Play some of it.
I'm not playing that.
Play some of it down the mic, man, for people to hear.
It's cool.
Play some of it. I want to hear
Alright.
some of this. I want to hear some of this corniness in the flesh.
Let me play it.
It's been a minute. What a song.
Keep going.
For
while
all
I
the
play
wrong
it.
reasons. But yeah, Chris Rock, man, I just think you got to let him get his jokes off, man. I want to see no one out there saying he's gone too far. I don't want to see no one out there saying he's not allowed to get these jokes off or Will Smith apologized, so we should let it rest. Allow it. This is what we want to see. If you're a comedian, get the jokes off. Roast him. Stick him in the oven. Roast him up. Turn it off, boy. His ghostwriters must have been on a holiday, boy. I don't know what was what was going on there.
I think he wrote
It's
that.
the club girl. Why you were bragging?
He wrote that, didn't he?
He must have, because that was horrible.
Shit, it's disgusting.
That song was terrible. I know he wishes he could erase that.
Monkey Suits, he definitely
That
paraded.
After Earth, there's a couple of things he wants to take off the
He
CV.
definitely paraded that monkey suit and that. Fucking hell, man.
Parade. What the hell's going on outside of this studio?
Bro. We say?
What the hell's going on outside of this studio? I sound like a youth club.
It's a zoo right now, man.
Listen, I said a zoo.
Shall I close that door?
Nah, just leave it. It's cool. But yeah, Chris Rock, man. I need to watch this because I haven't watched it yet. I've just seen the clips flying around on social media. I saw another one. Did you see the one about Meghan Markle?
No, I didn't see that one.
Bro, he was going in on Harry and Meghan.
Was he saying what?
He was going in on Harry and Meghan. He was basically saying, like, he saw a clip of Meghan, like he was like, how can she be shocked that the royal family are racist? He was like, they invented racism. He was like, so when you came into the royal family, you thought that these people weren't going to be racist. And in the moment they want to know how dark the child is, you're all shocked. Like, he's like, they invented colonialism.
That's
like,
a good point, though.
He was
they didn't
going,
invent it, but
I know, but that's the joke he's getting on.
In racism.
He was like, these are the OGs of racism. He was like, they're the Sugar Hill Gang of racism.
Sugar Hill Gang.
That's what he's like. The hippie to the racist. You say stuff like that. I was dying.
It's true that they're shocked that they
Bro, this guy was going in. I need to watch this. Like, I didn't think, like, I knew Will Smith was gonna get corned, but how did Meghan and Harry get corned? He's not holding back. I need to watch this. What do you reckon? Do you reckon he's gonna deliver?
He's not as funny as Dave and them, man, but he's funny.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dave and
them, man, then.
Dave Chappelle doesn't even really make jokes anymore, bro. It's like he's just standing up there.
He's just,
it's just like he's standing up talking, giving you like societal observations these days.
Yeah.
He's not really getting jokes off. Like,
you're right.
Chris Rock is still getting jokes off. But Chris Rock's never been as funny as Dave Chappelle in my eyes.
He ain't been as funny as Chris Tucker for me.
And Chris Tucker ain't even done that much stand-up.
Chris Tucker's my guy, man.
Yeah, Chris Tucker is that guy. He's in a new film coming up.
Yeah, he is, isn't it?
The Nike one.
The
Phil
Nike
Knight,
one, yeah.
the Shoe Dog one or whatever it is. I was happy to see him get that.
Rush Hour, what was it? Rush Hour 4's coming, ain't it?
Oh yeah, we saw the rumors.
Yeah.
Oh, please. That's like
Bro,
a Mayweather fight. No one wants to see
Nah,
that.
man. They could deliver.
Bro,
that,
Jackie Chan is like 97 years old, bro.
Yeah.
He's not 97, but
they could deliver, though.
I don't know. Did Bad Boys deliver?
If they allowed them to have the same rawness the first one's had,
we
say not here for it.
I'm slightly ageist, man. Like when I see people too old try and do films that require energy and youth and exuberance, it just don't hit the same.
But sometimes if they use their age, the thing is, what I don't like it.
It's action, bro.
That's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I don't like? I don't like it if they're past the hill, but they're pretending they're moving like they're 20 again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, let's say Bad Boys for Life. If they're trying to do the stunts and move like them 20 years ago, that's when it looks uncomfortable. But if this storyline is based around your age and it incorporates that, then it's a different thing, innit?
Yeah, I hear you.